So in today's video, we're going to break down exactly how we helped a ECO4 installer book 30 installs in their first 6 to 8 weeks with us. So on my LinkedIn, a few days ago, I posted about this campaign and the results. But in today's video, we'll take a bit more of a closer look into how we actually deliver these results and how you can try and do something similar for your own business. So with campaigns like these, we usually just post the testimonials. So if you check out our YouTube, LinkedIn website, you'll see dozens of client interviews and testimonials of the results of what we say about us. So for example, in this case, it's a cost per qualified lead of £170. They have either installed or booked the 30 installations, and they are now scaling quite aggressively. So they're increasing the spend, booking more installs month after month. But in this video, we'll actually go through what that looks like from our side, so the back end, and how we actually go about delivering these results. So I've touched on this in previous videos, but I think a lot of people actually overcomplicate lead generation. In essence, you only really need 3 or maximum 4 things to actually make it work. So the first one is the lead generation system. So how you're actually going to go about generating the inquiries in the first place. So in our case, we use social media, and having worked with over 90 installers now, been in eco for the last 3 years or so, we've got a very good idea of what does and doesn't work with online advertising. So when we do bring on a new client, it's just a case of rinsing and repeating what we know works. Second thing, and in my opinion, when most installers actually fall down, is once you have that pipeline and that flow of inquiries coming in, how do you consistently contact these people, qualify them, and get them booked in for a survey? So that's actually the lead qualification system. So in this video, I'll break down in quite a lot of detail how we qualify and book in dozens of surveys every week for our clients whilst doing it very efficiently. And then the third thing, which is mainly upon our clients, is how do we then convert these surveys into installations? So that is operations, compliance, paperwork, all that sort of stuff involved with ECO4. And then a fourth sort of bonus one, particularly for the way we generate leads online, is client requirements. So in this case, the client has the infrastructure to be able to take this many leads. They've got the installers, they've got the surveyors. And for the most importantly for us, they are quite flexible with their criteria. So they take flex leads, they do GBIS, they have pretty much a nationwide coverage. So when we have a lead that qualifies, they are more than happy to install it. They aren't cherry picking certain leads. If that is the case for you, so if you are already taking off-gas leads and benefits, then I think the numbers I've run through up until this point aren't particularly realistic for you. But if you are an installer that's installing in most measures, you can do flex areas, things like that, then there's no reason why you can't mirror the results in these videos, either doing it yourself or kind of easier for you, potentially just working with us. So getting on to the first thing I mentioned, the actual generation of the leads. So as I mentioned, we use social media for this, and having worked with over 90 installers, and we've spent literally millions and millions of pounds on social media generating ECO4 leads, we've got a very, very tried and tested approach to getting the leads in the first place. So for any new client that comes on board with us, we already have a bank of creatives, angles, and themes that we know work. We know they generate the right type of lead. So we'll start with those, but we aren't a set and forget company. So once those adverts are actually running, we are continually getting your feedback on what is and isn't working, refining the adverts we're putting out there in order to generate the most amount of leads, but ensuring the quality is still there as well. So for this client in particular, they have in the first 6 weeks generated over 500 inquiries at about £10 per lead. And that is not just anyone and everyone who's clicking on a Facebook ad for free solar panels. All of these people have answered over 8 questions to verify their eligibility. And then we also have a automated EPC checker. So that looks a little bit like this. You don't need to worry too much about the technical aspect. But when they put in their postcode and address, it will scrape the EPC register. If there's anything flagging on the EPC that you can't take, or if the EPC is just a C or a B rated, so it doesn't qualify, then we filter these out straight away off Facebook. So you don't run into the issue of generating hundreds of leads that don't go anywhere. We make sure that these inquiries you're getting for £10 are of very, very high quality. And ultimately, it means that you can build a pipeline for your office team, or if you're going to use us, our telesales team, very quickly. So in terms of how we go about getting a low cost per lead like that, as I mentioned, it's about starting with the winners. So the stuff that we already know works. We then analyze not just within your ad account, but across all of our clients, what is currently working in terms of the style of advert, the wording, the angle. And then we then continuously improve and refine what we're doing in your ad account based off that. So that involves making new variations of the stuff that's working, putting that in the ad account and then comparing the results. And any adverts that are just blowing it out the water, so they've got a really low cost per lead, we push all the budget towards, which is how we go about not just creating a ad account that does results for the first few weeks, but an ad account that does results for a few years. Um, and it's this sort of approach, which is quite scientific and quite well developed at this point, which allows us to have currently over 50 installers working with us or onboarding with us that all get a very low cost per lead and get a very full pipeline every single month. So that's the creative process. So how we actually generate leads, and which obviously we take care of for you. The second thing, and as I sort of touched upon, the most important thing in my opinion is how are we actually going to filter and book these leads in. So we have what we call a 3-step process for this. So the first one, which I sort of touched upon, is the automated EPC of filtering. So rather than getting 100 leads off Meta, you spend, or your team spend hours every day checking EPCs, seeing if they qualify. This is all done automatically. So people who have a B-rated property or they live in a park home, we just filter these out straight away based off the EPC data. Second thing that we offer all the installers we work with is a proper CRM. So it comes with a bunch of automations to collect images, documents, get hold of people, essentially anything you would need to get a lead and turn it into a survey. We can make it very, very efficient and streamlined using our CRM rather than you relying on WhatsApp or spreadsheets to try and get pictures and documents of people. And then the final thing is we have a in-house telesales team. So this is probably the thing that separates us from other agencies or other lead gens the most is we have a in-house call center, all coming with eco experience to call and book in your leads for you. So there's 3 main areas and 3 main selling points to this for the installers we work with. So the first one is the rapid response. So I'm sure you've heard the stat, but if a lead isn't called within 5 minutes, they are 8 times more likely to convert. So if you do go ahead of our telesales team, they work 8 in the morning till 7 in the evening, Monday to Friday, and also Saturday shifts as well. So that means any lead coming through that isn't overnight is going to get called within minutes and just massively boost the chances of you getting hold of them. So that means if your office team are busy with other issues, or if you're out on site, whoever it is that's calling the leads currently, it means you can rely on our experienced team to call those leads pretty much straight away. Second thing is then the follow-up. So a lot of installers we work with, they'll only call a lead 3 or 4 times. Lead doesn't pick up. They then consider that as dead. That person's not interested. Our team will call 2 to 3 times per day for the next week. So that lead's going to get at least 14 or 15 calls from our team. Within that, we're mixing in evenings, weekends. So essentially the times where people are actually more likely to pick up the phone. Again, this is going to maximize the contact rates and just ensure that if you are generating a lead which looks good on paper, we can actually get them on the phone, get them qualified and booked in for a survey. And then the third thing is, as I touched upon, all of our team are experienced within ECO4. So they know all the customer objections, they can answer all the questions properly, they properly qualify people, and just ensure that the leads are generating get a proper service from people who know the industry and know exactly what you're looking for. So just a few stats about the impact this could have for you if you are generating leads currently but aren't following up properly. So the first one is by using our telesales team as part of our package, you're going to save between £2,000 and even over £10,000 every single month on hiring or managing in-house staff. Our team, they act like in-house staff for you. They tailor their calls to your requirements and your feedback, and they essentially allow you to hit your install capacity without the headache of recruiting and managing a whole team in-house. Secondly is the higher conversion rates. As I mentioned, we ensure all the leads are called within minutes, and if they don't pick up, they're followed up on for the next week. So we easily see booking rates double or triple and for installers that we work with just by using our call center, purely from the fact that we call quick and very often. Third thing is the efficiency for your current team. So if they no longer have to call all the leads up, it's going to give them back, 10 to even over 40 hours a week back to focus on other things like post-install aftercare, submissions, compliance, because they're not having to deal with checking EPCs or chasing up leads. And then all of that leads to the fourth point, which is an increase in the return on your investment. So your campaign can easily be 2 to 10 times more profitable just by using our call center or using a similar follow-up process that is as fast and as rigorous. So getting into what the rest of the year looks like for this client. So month 1, which we are out of now, is all about building the foundations. So this client started with a £3,000 per month advertising budget. And it was really whilst we nailed down the systems, the processes, understand their ways of working, and essentially just ensured they were happy with what we were doing. Into month 2 and month 3, which we're at now, is when we can see the clear results. So that's the form of surveys, installs. The client can clearly see the current cost per acquisition and what their ROI looks like. And then the rest of the year, so month 3 onwards, it's all about scaling. So how can we increase the spend and generate more leads with the proven performance we've already got, and essentially get the client to whatever targets they've got in terms of the number of installs they want to hit per month. Because just using what we do, the online advertising that we're using at the moment, there's no reason why they can't hit 50, 100 plus installs per month just from this campaign alone. So if what I've run through sounds like it would be helpful for your business, if you aren't hitting the install numbers you want, or if you're already advertising online, but the system isn't as nice as you'd like it, then here's essentially what we offer. So the first one is proven expertise. So as I mentioned, we've worked with over 90 installers now directly on their campaigns. So we understand exactly what works. We understand the industry. So when we bring on a new client, it's essentially just plugging and playing what already works. Second thing is the lead qualification. So we aren't just a Facebook ads agency that generates a bunch of names and numbers onto a spreadsheet. We have a very rigorous process that I've walked through in this video for actually qualifying those leads and ensuring that you're getting them without wasting a bunch of your time. Third thing we offer is performance guarantees. So if you do click on the link below and make that inquiry, the team will run through exactly what sort of leads you're after, how many leads you need each month. And from that, we will essentially develop a clear, customized plan for your ROI on that, with guarantees on how much you're going to spend and what sort of return you're going to get from that. That's all set out before you get started with us. So you're not chucking thousands into an advertising campaign and hoping for the best. Fourth thing we offer is a comprehensive training program. So if you do come on board with us alongside the actual lead generation, we can train your staff in all things marketing, telesales, using the CRM, and just make sure that beyond the actual advertising online, everything from the lead generation through to calling them up, qualifying them, submissions, it's all taken care of, and everyone's on the same page with the training program as well. And then the fifth thing that we can offer is scalable growth. So a big bottleneck for a lot of the stores we work with is the fact that they get good leads from lead gens, door knockers, whatever their current source is, but it's not scalable. It's hard to find another door knocking team, or it's hard to find more lead gens who are good. Whereas with this system, as soon as it's working, it's a case of just increasing the spend, getting more leads, and it's no more of a burden in your company in terms of qualifying the leads or dealing with more people, because it's all taken care of by us. So if what I've run through does sound of interest, you can click on the link below. It will take you through to a page that looks like this. Essentially just has a bit more information about what we offer, some testimonials, case studies, and the opportunity to make an inquiry where our team will run through whether we can actually help you, what working with us looks like, and just map out how the service will help for your business specifically.